Welcome to Hot Zone Updates. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates. The world was stunned by a single headline: Philippines strikes black gold in West Philippine Sea. It was a moment that would be remembered for generations, a turning point that no one saw coming. News spread instantly, lighting up screens from Times Square to Tokyo, and even in the bustling streets of London. Social media exploded with speculation and excitement, as people everywhere tried to grasp the magnitude of what had just happened. A Philippine-led team shielded by its navy had uncovered a supergiant oil field, reserves rivaling the Middle East. The scale of the find was unprecedented, promising to transform not just the nation, but the entire region. This was more than oil. It was a seismic shift in global geopolitics, right in one of the world's most contested waters. The West Philippine Sea, already a flashpoint, now became the center of international attention. In Manila, euphoria erupted. Streets filled with flag-waving crowds united by hope and pride. For many, it felt like a new era was dawning, one where the Philippines could finally take its place on the world stage. For a nation long overshadowed by economic hardship and regional pressure, this was a moment of vindication. Generations who had dreamed of prosperity now saw it within reach. The discovery became a symbol of a brighter future, a promise of prosperity finally within reach. Hopes soared as people imagined new jobs, better schools, and a stronger economy. Across Asia, the news sparked shock and cautious optimism. In capitals like Jakarta and Hanoi, leaders saw new possibilities for their own claims. The balance of power in the region was suddenly up for grabs. In Washington, strategists recalibrated. The Philippines, a key ally, now held an economic superweapon. The United States saw both opportunity and risk in this dramatic shift. The global balance of power was shifting overnight. Alliances were being tested, and new strategies were being drawn up in capitals around the world. But nowhere was the impact felt more than in Beijing. The Chinese leadership faced a challenge unlike any before. China's sweeping claims over the South China Sea were now directly challenged by a discovery within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. The stakes had never been higher. Chinese state media fell silent, signaling turmoil behind closed doors. The usual confident rhetoric was replaced by uncertainty and concern. The find threatened Beijing's narrative of dominance and forced a strategic reckoning. Military and political leaders scrambled to respond, knowing the world was watching. The world watched, knowing China's next move could redefine the region's future. The discovery had set the stage for a new chapter in history, one filled with uncertainty, hope, and the promise of change. The West Philippine Sea has long been a flashpoint of overlapping claims and simmering disputes. For decades, these waters have witnessed tense standoffs, diplomatic protests, and a constant military presence as neighboring countries vie for control over this strategic maritime corridor. China's expansive nine-dash line cuts deep into its neighbors' waters, fueling years of intimidation and conflict. This sweeping claim, drawn unilaterally, disregards international boundaries and has led to repeated confrontations with countries like the Philippines, Vietnam, and Malaysia. In 2016, the Philippines won a landmark legal victory at The Hague, affirming its rights and rejecting China's claims. The International Tribunal's decision was hailed as a triumph for the rule of law and a beacon of hope for smaller nations facing powerful adversaries. Beijing dismissed the ruling, doubling down with artificial islands and military outposts. Massive land reclamation projects transformed reefs into fortified bases, escalating tensions and altering the region's landscape. The legal win was symbolic. On the water, it remained David versus Goliath. Filipino sailors continued to face overwhelming odds, patrolling against a far larger and better-equipped Chinese fleet. Now, the oil discovery changes everything. Beneath these contested waves lies a treasure trove of energy, with the potential to transform the region's fortunes and shift the balance of power. The dispute is no longer theoretical. It's about a confirmed, high-stakes asset. The promise of billions in revenue and energy security has raised the stakes for all involved. The Philippines' position is stronger, with billions of barrels at stake and global support growing. International partners are watching closely, offering diplomatic backing and investment opportunities. For China, the find is a strategic nightmare. Interference risks global backlash, but inaction concedes defeat. The leadership in Beijing faces mounting pressure, both at home and abroad, to assert its claims without triggering a wider conflict. The slow-burning conflict has become an urgent crisis, forcing Beijing to confront the consequences of its expansionism. Every move is scrutinized, and the margin for error is shrinking. The region stands at a crossroads, with the world watching every move. The next chapter in this saga will shape not just the fate of the West Philippine Sea, but the future of international order in Asia. For the Philippines, the oil discovery is a game changer. Energy independence could finally free the nation from volatile global oil prices and economic vulnerability. The project will create tens of thousands of jobs, fueling an infrastructure boom and revitalizing local industries. Billions in revenue could overhaul public services, modern highways, airports, schools, and hospitals. If managed wisely, this wealth could lift millions out of poverty and make the dream of a first-world Philippines a reality. The peso would strengthen, attracting foreign investment far beyond oil and gas. New capital would flow into manufacturing, technology, and tourism, creating a cycle of growth. The nation could break free from debt and dependency, charting its own course as a confident economic power. The oil beneath the sea is more than fuel, it's a chance to transform the country's destiny. The golden age is within reach, if the opportunity is seized. The discovery has upended the Indo-Pacific's balance of power. The Philippines, once a minor player, now wields immense economic leverage. China's response has been a mix of public restraint and covert military escalation. Warships and Coast Guard vessels now shadow the oil site. Beijing's long-term strategy of control through intimidation is under threat. For the US and its allies, the stakes have never been higher. Washington has reaffirmed its defense commitments, increasing joint patrols and naval presence. Allies like Japan and Australia see a strong Philippines as a bulwark against Chinese expansion. ASEAN nations, inspired by Manila's boldness, may unite for the first time against coercion. If the Philippines succeeds, it sets a powerful precedent for the region, one where law, not force, shapes the future. The world is watching to see if a new order will emerge in Southeast Asia. The Philippines must act with vision and resolve to secure its future, ensuring prosperity and stability for generations to come. First, it must anchor every move in the 2016 arbitral ruling, framing its actions as a defense of international law, which serves as a cornerstone for its maritime claims. Second, it needs a credible deterrent. Smart investments in anti-ship missiles, patrol craft, and advanced military technology, along with comprehensive surveillance systems to protect its assets and ensure maritime security. The goal is to make aggression too costly for any adversary. Third, alliances are vital for regional stability. Deepening ties with the US strengthens defense capabilities, while forging new partnerships with Japan, Australia, and Europe enhances diplomatic leverage. These alliances raise the stakes for any would-be aggressor, creating a formidable coalition. A united front multiplies the cost of interference, deterring potential threats. Finally, the government must communicate clearly, at home and abroad, about its intentions and rights, ensuring transparency. By telling its story as one of lawful, peaceful development, the Philippines can win global support and isolate its adversaries, fostering international goodwill. Strategic messaging is as crucial as military strength, shaping perceptions and building alliances. This four-pillar strategy is the blueprint for turning discovery into lasting security, ensuring a prosperous future. The nation's future depends on disciplined execution, unwavering commitment, and strategic foresight. With great opportunity comes great responsibility. The West Philippine Sea is a global ecological treasure, home to vital coral reefs and marine life. The Philippines must set the highest environmental standards for oil extraction, using advanced technology and rigorous impact assessments. A robust regulatory body must enforce compliance with zero tolerance for shortcuts. A comprehensive oil spill response plan is essential, backed by dedicated funding for rapid action and marine conservation. Part of the oil revenue should create a permanent environmental trust, supporting research and new marine protected areas. By leading in sustainable development, the Philippines can set a global example. Economic progress and environmental stewardship must go hand in hand. The nation's legacy will be measured by how it balances prosperity with protection of its natural heritage. Oil wealth is only as valuable as the foundations it builds. The Philippines must invest in modern highways, ports, and power grids to unlock nationwide growth. Equally vital is transforming education, building new schools, raising teacher pay, and focusing on science and technology. Vocational training centers will prepare Filipinos for high-tech energy jobs and beyond. A portion of the wealth should fund research and innovation, making the country a leader in energy technology. This dual investment in infrastructure and people creates a cycle of progress and opportunity. Better roads and schools attract investment, A skilled workforce drives innovation. The benefits must reach all Filipinos, not just a privileged few. This is the path to a smart, resilient, and equitable nation. The oil discovery elevates the Philippines' global standing. Manila now has leverage to forge stronger, more balanced alliances, especially with the US, Japan, and Australia. As a stable energy provider, the Philippines can lead new regional initiatives on security and economic development. Within ASEAN, Manila's assertiveness inspires unity and resilience against external pressure. By sharing expertise and advocating for a binding code of conduct, the Philippines can help shape a rules-based order. This is a chance to move from reacting to events to actively shaping the region's future. The nation's new role is not just about power, but about building a better Asia. The Philippines stands at a historic crossroads. One path leads to prosperity, unity, and leadership. If the wealth is managed transparently and invested in people and infrastructure. The other path is the resource curse corruption, division, and squandered opportunity. The stakes are immense, and the choices made now will define the nation's future. Externally, the threat of confrontation with a powerful neighbor looms large. Defending sovereign rights will require courage, strategy, and strong alliances. The world is watching as the Philippines navigates these treacherous waters. This discovery is more than oil. It's a test of national character and vision. With bold leadership and unity, the nation can seize this moment to transform its destiny. The chance to build a just, innovative, and secure Philippines is real. The future of the region may well be written in the deep waters of the West Philippine Sea.